Hello, my cherished viewers. You are all welcome back to this channel for One Tutorials. We are going to continue from WASSCE 2025 Elective Math. In my previous video, we solved the question 9 as well as the question 10. So today, we are going to start with question 11. Then we are going to look at how question 11 A and B are solved. So stay tuned, pick your notebooks, exercise book, any book at all, pen, pencil, calculators, so that you can join me as we all work them together. WASSCE 2025. Elective Mathematics. Question 11A. Given that f of x, which maps to x all over x squared minus 1, x is not equal to plus or minus 1, and g such that x maps to x all over x plus 2, where x is not equal to negative 2. And x belongs to all real numbers. Find I. G inverse of x, I. G inverse of f of x, I. The largest domain of G inverse of f of x. Alright, so this is the A part of the question. Quickly, let's look at how they are done. Solution. Now over here, we are dealing with two different functions. We have a function of f and a function of g. So we have f of x, which is equal to x all over x squared minus 1. And we have g of x, which is also equal to x over x plus 2. So these are the two major functions we are going to deal with. Now the first question is to find the inverse of g. So before that, for the inverse of g, let y be equal to g of x. So we have y is equal to x over x plus 2. Then from here, I am going to cross multiply. So I have y multiplying x plus 2. Y multiplying x plus 2, then equal to 1, also multiplying x. So I have xy plus 2y is equal to 1 times x. We are going to get x. So from here, I'm going to make x the subject. So I'm going to put this one here. So I have 2y is equal to x minus xy. That's the additive inverse of xy. So I have 2y is equal to, since we have x being common in these two terms, then I am going to factor x out. So I have x into bracket 1 minus y. So from here, I am going to divide through by 1 minus y, here by 1 minus y. This will take off this. So I'm going to get my x to be equal to 2y over 1 minus y. 2y over 1 minus y. So from here then my J inverse of x is going to be equal to, then I am going to change the variables. So I have 2x all over 1 minus x. And this is going to be the final answer for the inverse of J. So let's look at the next question. J inverse of f of x. We have J inverse of x is equal to 2x all over 1 minus x. All right. So we have J inverse of f of x. Now over here, this can be rewrite as J inverse in a big bracket f of x, like this. J inverse a big bracket f of x. This means that we are going to substitute f of x into the inverse of J. So anywhere you see x in the inverse of J, we are going to put this whole fraction here. That's basically how we are going to deal with. So from the inverse of J, we have 2x, but instead of x, I am going to put this whole fraction here. So here we are making direct substitution of f of x in the inverse of J. So multiplying x all over x squared minus 1 all over 1 minus x. So we have 1 minus. We are still going to put the whole function of f in the inverse of J. So minus x all over x squared minus 1. Now, from the numerator, we can rewrite this one as a fraction. So it becomes 2 over 1 multiplying x all over x squared minus 1 all over 1 over 1, because this 1 here is also a whole number. And anytime you want to rewrite a whole number as a fraction, you just divide it by 1. So 2 over 1 because it's a whole number, 1 over 1 because 1 is also a whole number, minus x all over x squared minus 1. So we are going to continue from here. So here we have multiplication of fraction. So the numerator will multiply the numerator we have here. 2 times x, we are still getting 2x all over 1 times what we have from the denominator. So 1 times x squared minus 1, we still have x squared minus 1. Let me use divided by. Now all over, I am using this sign, all over this. And this is two fractions subtracting. So we have 1 over 1 minus x over x squared minus 1. Because they are subtracting, we are going to find the LCM. So the LCM is x squared minus 1. 1 goes into x squared minus 1. We are still going to get x squared minus 1. X squared minus 1. Minus, this minus is what I have here. Then x squared minus 1 goes into x squared minus 1 once. Times x, we still have x. So now we have 2x over x squared minus 1 times, when I change the division to multiplication, then there is a need to reciprocate the fraction we have here. So the x squared minus 1 we have at the denominator will move up. Then what we have from the numerator will also come down. So we have x squared minus 1 all over x squared minus x minus 1. So from here, the whole of this will take up this. So I have 2x times 1, we still have 2x all over. Then here 1 times the whole of this, we still have x squared minus x minus 1. And this will be the final answer for the inverse of g of f of x, which is equal to 2x all over x squared minus x minus 1. As simple as that. So this is where we are going to end. Okay, so now we are looking at the last part of the question 11a. I. So the final part was also talking about the largest domain of f inverse of f of x. The largest domain of f inverse of f of x. Now when you talk about the largest domain, from here, because it's a fraction, then we are going to take the denominator and equate it to 0. That is how the domain is found. So we have x squared minus x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now from here, if you want to find the values of x, then we are going to use the general quadratic formula, which is x is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This is the general quadratic formula. So from here, a is equal to 1 because a is the coefficient of x squared. B is equal to negative 1. B will be the coefficient of x. Then I have c to be negative 1. Since c is also the constant we have within the quadratic equation. So here we are just going to make direct substitution. So we have x is equal to minus b plus or minus root of negative 1 squared because we have b squared, where b is negative 1, minus 4ac. A is 1, c is negative 1, all over 2 multiplying a. I have the value of a to be 1. So I have x to be equal to, so here I am going to simplify them further. So I have positive 1 because negative negative is going to be positive, plus or minus root of negative 1 squared, I have positive 1. Negative 4 times 1, I have negative 4. Times negative 1, it is going to be positive 4. all over 2. Multiplying 1, we still have 2. So from here, I have 1 plus or minus root 5 all over 2 plus or minus root 5 all over 2. So we are getting x is equal to 1 plus root 5 over 2, and we also have 1 minus root 5 all over 2, because we have our equation to be plus or minus. So the first one will take the positive, then the next one will take the negative. But the question said domain. So we have the largest domain. The largest domain is, then you open your curly brackets. X is such that x belongs to all real numbers except x is equal to 1 plus root 5 over 2 and x is equal to 1 minus root 5 over 2. Then you close your bracket. So my cherished viewers, this will be the domain of the J inverse of f of x. So we are going to end here for the question 11a. In my next video, we are going to look at the question 11b. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly hit on the subscription button, like this video, share your comments in the comment section, and always keep in touch with this channel. Prof 1 Tutorials. Bye bye.